to our Web3 business podcast. Through token minds, venture minds, artificial minds, and B2B minds, we drive business transformation and growth. Our integrated service help enterprise embrace the digital economy by aligning traditional practices with emerging trends, fostering sustainable and forward-thinking work. So for today, we are going to talk about demystifying decentralized finance, how DeFi is changing the face of finance. Before we move to our topic, can you introduce yourself first?
Thank you. I'm Anchor from TokenMinds. I'm a part of client success team, and also I'm a marketeer for like Web3 solution. It's really nice to be here again today to offer and share my experience on the DeFi and all the solutions. Thanks.
And then we can move forward to the question. There are four subtopics for this podcast. The first one is what is DeFi and how does it work? For our listeners who might be new into the concept, can you describe what DeFi is in a way that's easy to understand?
Yeah, sure. I think for sure not all of the people listeners here, right, they understand the DeFi because some of them might be new to the crypto. So actually, DeFi's definition and concept compared with the traditional like financial system. So traditional one actually we normally call this CeFi. So centralized financial, which is actually this kind of institution that actually owned by a group or some individuals, banking, the government system, etc. But for DeFi, it stands for decentralized. So it's totally opposite. It's similar like something like a centralized exchange or this decentralized exchanges is actually same, very similar. So that is actually stand for the decentralized financial services like on blockchains. So unlike the centralized ones offered by banks, it allows users to perform typical banking activities using cryptocurrency such as lending, borrowing, trading, and buying insurance. So DeFi is often quicker and more cost effective and straightforward with new benefits emerging regularly. So some cases like, for some smart contract on the blockchain, which include but not limited to Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, BNB Chain, Polygon, and Arbitrum. So all these kind of systems actually consist and combine together to actually a whole digital assets ecosystem.
Thank you, Anchor, for the explanation. I believe our listeners can understand and now define more. So let's move into the second question. How does DeFi function differently from traditional finance? And why is blockchain technology crucial?
Yeah, good question. So about this, for sure, that's why we have this DeFi solution, right, on blockchain. It's because for sure it has a lot of like pros, right, and advantages towards the traditional finance. So the DeFi protocols are the rules and smart contracts that manage these decentralized applications. So they are typically open source, which means anyone can see and verify the system's rules. And these protocols are built on blockchain platforms like Ethereum and also the Solana, Polygon, right? Different blockchains, and use smart contracts to automatically enforce these rules. So CeFi, so which is called centralized finance, right? Traditional financial system, that represents the traditional financial and all the ecosystem managed by centralized entities like banks or broker firms and governments as well, right? So these institutions facilitate transactions and offer advantages like regulatory oversight, consumer protection, and trading convenience. So, but however, CeFi also has downsides, including transaction fees, slower processing time, and also the potential centralized control, right? Like those government we see in China, like they control, right, some like a financial system there. So on the other hand, DeFi offers speed, cost efficiency, and but also it carries higher risk due to its unregulated nature. So that is also one thing we need to keep an eye on. So choosing between CeFi and DeFi often depends on the individual organization's risk tolerance. Again, that this kind of DeFi from the security perspective, maybe it's not really that regulated and secure compared with CeFi, but it still have a lot of advantages here. So this depends on the like risk tolerance, technical understanding, and the specific financial needs by those kind of individuals, and organizations, and companies. So DeFi is a revolutionary financial system that utilizes blockchain technology and smart contracts to provide a wide range of financial services without the need for intermediaries, and its benefits include increased speed, decentralization, cost effectiveness, and also accessibility. All these kind of like, advantages.
Okay, nice. That was so insightful. Maybe after we know about what is DeFi is, we can move to second subtopics about the key benefits and challenges of DeFi. What are some of the key advantages DeFi offers over the traditional finance method?
Okay, this is a good question. So, like I also said in the second question, I already explained some benefits here, but here let me actually explain, actually get more clarification on more details right of advantages. So, first one is open source. So anyone with internet connection can access to that. So, especially this is so important in countries with limited traditional financial services, like in some less developed countries that they cannot easily find a bank. So using DeFi solution, people can easily send and receive money, borrow land, funds, loan, and trade financial assets without going through banks or other financial institutions. And secondly, it's built on blockchain. So everything is transparent and secure. So transactions on the blockchain are recorded on the public ledger and allowing anyone to see what is happening. This helps to reduce the risk of fraud and also other financial crimes. And third point is about it allows for greater financial inclusion as it offers financial services that might not be available through traditional CeFi, ecosystem or institutions. For example, DeFi platforms can give loans to those with low credit scores or allow people to trade assets that are usually not accessible by conventional exchanges. And next point is actually DeFi can enhance the efficiency and also effectiveness of financial services because it's based on blockchain technology. DeFi can process transactions faster, like in seconds or like max 1 minute. It depends on which blockchain, and at a lower cost compared to traditional financial entities. So it's more like a saving, and also it helps to reduce the fees people have to pay when accessing financial services. And the last point is that built on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, all transactions are openly auditable, traceable, and searchable on the chain. So from where actually they can be altered and also increasing cost of centralized institutions extra maliciously and providing better protection to investors because everything is on the blockchain. So and on the ledger, so they can easily check where the money come from, where the money go. So there's actually no actually gray area here at all. So yeah, that is an answer for this question.
Okay, so that there are some key advantages of DeFi offers. Conversely, what are the challenges or potential pitfalls associated with DeFi? Should user know?
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually working right in this field. But indeed, I cannot say everything's nothing is perfect, right? So for DeFi solution, for sure, I mentioned already earlier, right? Like, okay, have some issues because it's not regulated. It's sometimes people get lost. It's true. I still remember something like happened last year, like for Luna, right? Those kind of like social stuff. So people get lost money. They just rug pull. It's really huge, big news at that time. Which also the reason actually one of the reasons actually led with the crypto market actually fall down and to the bearish trends last year. So DeFi can be complex and might be challenging to understand, especially for those unfamiliar with blockchain technology. So this can pose challenges when people use DeFi platforms or services. And since DeFi is decentralized and not controlled by any like single entity or government or any other institution, so it doesn't really have the same level of regulation as traditional finance systems. So this might make some hesitant to use DeFi platforms due to concerns about this kind of risk, right? So like any financial system, there are also risk of loss when using DeFi. And also it actually happened before. So for example, if you lend money through a DeFi platform and then the borrower defaults, you might lose money you lend. And also for the project platforms, unless it's really trustworthy and reputed names, even though we have a risk, right? But for the normal average or smaller ones, it also raises the even higher risk. If you see that they provide like APY like 15 or 20, even 100, over 100% APY, if you stake your token there, stake your money there, definitely you will be very hesitant to stick there because it might be a Ponzi scheme or something. While DeFi platforms are built on blockchain technology, which is generally considered secure, there have been instances of hacks or stolen funds. This could be a concern for those using DeFi platforms. So DeFi is still a relatively new area, so and hasn't been widely adopted, making it hard for people to find others to trade with or borrow from. So yeah, indeed, I understand there will be some like pitfalls or some concerns, uncertainties about DeFi still.
Okay, so knowing the challenges, are there any regulatory handlers in DeFi that you believe are important to discuss?
Yeah, actually, for this kind of regulatory stuff, right, it's very necessary and important. It's very essential and critical because we anyway want to see the perfection of this DeFi from the perspective of those Web3, involved, groups like us. So traditional regulatory frameworks, which were created for centralized financial systems, are challenged by the decentralized and borderless nature of DeFi protocols. And as a result, so many features of DeFi lie beyond the reach of existing regulations, leaving participants and regulators befuddled. Determining the legal status of DeFi system and their operators is a major difficulty because there's no centralized institution in charge of this kind of stuff. Because then no matter from the bank or from a brokers or from any other financial system or government, actually they actually is taking care of this for yet for now, right? So it's totally decentralized. So it's unclear who can be held accountable for adhering to existing financial standards to preserve the integrity of the financial system and protect the participants. Issues such as consumer protection, anti-money, so laundering, so AML, and the know your customer, which we call KYC rules, and then investor rights must be addressed. So efforts are being made anyway to navigate the legal and regulatory, of DeFi. Regulators all across the world are starting to grasp the necessity of encouraging innovation while simultaneously protecting investors and ensuring financial stability. They are looking into methods to modify existing regulations or develop new frameworks in order to give like clarity of control of the DeFi space, such as some like regulations. I heard of like a MAC, right, MAS regulations Malaysia, and also SEC, those kind of regulations for investment and trading in the States and Canada. So yeah, indeed, actually, the whole world actually is seeking for a solution to really regulate that better.
So, yeah, thank you, Anchor, for the explanation. So that was the key advantage and the challenges, right? And we're going to move to our subtopic three, the case studies of successful DeFi platforms. Could you share some explanation of successful DeFi platform that what sets them apart in this rapidly growing space?
Yeah, actually, there are many case studies, right? We see a lot of like DeFi platforms that are booming, like especially from 2018 and till 2021 to 22. For now, still some emerging like nice ideas from those kind of project teams. But actually, from my own experience, I was sure. First is about Uniswap. So it's actually a very revolutionary platform, actually, almost like the where we first know about the DeFi, because normally we trade all the tokens, we do the staking on the central exchanges, like, but this one, unlike traditional exchanges, Uniswap actually it's so different from the traditional ones, like centralized ones that match buyer and seller orders through all the books to execute trades. But Uniswap employs an automated market maker model, so which we call AMM system. that uses liquidity pools and smart contracts to fulfill these orders, which also get the trend started. Like a lot of other like swiping and staking platforms like ApeSwap, like PancakeSwap, and different swiping platforms, and integrating with a lot of other functionalities like yield farming, staking, especially on the Binance blockchain, which also caused actually a kind of issue because Binance, right, got alerted, or warned by some governments like Singapore, United States, because of this kind of like settlement model project tokens. So people can easily deploy on some website platforms their tokens, and then they just add the liquidity pool by themselves, and then they promote in the different communities and people buy, and this will also cause a lot of like frauds, rug pull projects. But in general, it's actually very creative ideas, which are still actually existing and booming recently until now. And another case is for AAVE, which we call AVE. Actually, I am familiar with this one because I personally also invested. Previously, they called Land, LEND. It's also one of the first um, DeFi platforms I actually personally invested in. So for Land, um, actually, and also F, right? It's a decentralized lending platform built on the Ethereum blockchain. So it allows users to lend both of various cryptocurrencies, including Ethereum and other ERC20 tokens. So it is unique because it provides flash loans, and also which can be taken and repaid within a single transaction block. So this is a case is actually which I personally experienced for the DeFi platforms.
Okay, maybe we can go deeper. How have this platform transformed how we think about financial transaction and service?
Okay, good question. So for this question, actually, just like I explained also earlier, right? So DeFi is like a new kind of banking system without the banks. Instead of banks, it uses blockchain's technology to make financial services more open, transparent, and user-friendly. People around the world can now access money services directly, try out the new financial tools, and do all this often at a lower cost. But just like anything new, it comes with its own set of challenges and risks. Overall, DeFi is changing the way we think about money and finance. Yeah.
Okay, then we can move forward to our last subtopic for the future trends and prediction in DeFi space. Where do you see DeFi hitting in the next 5 to 10 years based on current trends and advancement?
Um, actually, I cannot really predict, right? It's really hard, But what I get based on my experience, maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, DeFi might come as common as traditional banking, right? It will be more adopted to the daily life. Just imagine a world where everyone, even those without bank accounts, can easily use financial service online in seconds during the trading and transaction and swapping. And also, I know that some DeFi platform they also issue their credit card, their bank card, saving card, which actually they try to adopt some like traditional banking system, right? Those advantages and those those kind of stuff to the DeFi. So just to take the good parts, right? I think that's also comparing to traditional finance. Actually, the decentralized finance, actually, those kind of guys who are working on this field, they're actually more open. They actually accept a different stuff. Right? They want to combine all this kind of good stuff together to the one cake or something like that. So yeah, so while governments will step in to ensure everything is safe and fair, DeFi will likely become faster, offer more options, and be more connected with other online systems. However, like any new tech, there will be growing pains, right? Like ensuring it's safe from hackers and easy for people to use. So, in short, DeFi is set to make financial services more accessible and efficient for all. Yeah.
Okay, furthermore, how might DeFi continue to disrupt or reshape the traditional financial sectors in the future?
Um, yeah, I think in general that CeFi and DeFi are likely not to coexist evenly in the future. So, and the combination of both may be the way forward. However, for these who truly believe in decentralization, nothing compared to pure DeFi, with a market rebounding, establishment of laws, regaining of trust, and more people recognizing the potential of DeFi products and services, this sector will likely attract more funds. Indicators suggest that it might become a major force in finance. So I saw some data analyzed actually on some like platforms, creative platforms. So as of July 2022, so the same time last year, investments in cryptocurrency sector reached 31.3 billion. It's even in the bearish market. Actually, it's like 31.3 billion, surpassing the total for the entire year of 2021. And by August 25th, the total value locked in DeFi protocols, according to the really reliable sources, stood at 61.5 million, which means actually there is almost like 100% increase in just like several months. And this is half of that what it was in August 2021, but its magnitude is higher than August 2020. Despite the recent setbacks, DeFi seems to be on a rising trend. So the future may see as a blend of centralized and decentralized finance. While DeFi's potential is widely recognized, so it has been rapidly growing in the investment. So by mid of 2022, investments surpassed the previous year, indicating a promising trend of DeFi despite some challenges. So I'm very optimistic about the DeFi. So in general, I think those two actually will coexist, right? Still, but the DeFi actually will take more like market shares or occupation or something like that. Yeah.
Then we can go to our last question. Lastly, could you share your insight on any risks or challenges the device space might face?
Yeah, I think this we also mentioned a bit previously, like the risk or challenge. But here again, right? So DeFi, it offers great potential in the financial world, but it comes with challenges. So there are concerns about smart contracts being vulnerable, right, to bugs or unclear government regulations, uncertainties, potential losses for those putting like money into DeFi pools, high transaction fees on some of the networks such as Ethereum, though they're still developing new, right, like nomad forking or something else like technical renovation to actually decrease the transaction, but it's still not happening. And also no insurance like a traditional banks offer, right? So the faster pace of the DeFi means things change quickly, which can be confusing, and some platforms don't really work well together. So, and the system can be complicated for average folks. Borrowers sometimes have to offer more collateral than they borrow, and there is a risk of scams where projects take the money and run and rug pull. So as DeFi grows, though, solutions to these issues are being worked on, but we still need to keep an eye on that because people are putting really a lot of efforts on this, but it's still not really perfect. So we need, I think we need still quite some time, ongoing efforts on really implement different stuff and solutions into that to make it really better and better.
Okay, that is was well explained by Anchor to our listener. I hope this podcast can give our listeners insight and information of DeFi. I want to thank and appreciate to Anchor Chan, our general manager, to coming for this podcast. Don't forget to follow our social media and website to learn more about us and specifically our service that can benefit your project. Thank you everyone for listening and see you.